We're back with another video on VINCI CORE. Yesterday, we talked about Vinci. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and click up here. Talked about Vinci, the letter V in VINCI CORE, and that was the first of 5. Today, we're going to be talking about the first I in Vinci, which is integrity. And there's a couple aspects of this, some very obvious and evident as to why it's important to company culture, and other aspects of it where it's kind of more ambiguous and more easier to internalize and think about and apply to yourself, which will then directly but indirectly affect the growth of the business itself and the bringing together of people, because it makes you a better person and it makes you more open to connecting, if that makes sense, or being in an environment that allows you guys to connect and grow together. So with integrity, I'll read it here from our actual VINCI CORE. It's be honest, build trust, be reliable. Be honest, build trust, be reliable. With that, the be honest, I mean, it's super simple, not always easy to follow, however. I think it's important to note why people will lie, and usually it'll be one of a few reasons. 1, to protect themselves, or 2, to protect someone or something else, whether that's protecting your reputation or whether that's protecting. So for example, if I'm supposed to accomplish a certain task on this day and I didn't do it, but there's no obvious output that is shown whether I did it or not, I can lie and say, oh yeah, I did it, and make it seem like I want to hold my reputation and make it seem like I do what I say I'm going to do. And this will tie in later in the video. So that's an example of lying to protect yourself and protect your reputation or how other people view you. Now there's other times where some people might call them white lies, where you're lying to protect someone or something else. For example, if like your girl asks you if she looks fat in a dress or something like that. Now, sometimes you might have to lie, and I'm not saying you're marrying or you're talking to a fat girl, but maybe that dress looks a little bit chunky on her or something. I don't know, but you can't say that because it'll hurt her and her feelings for no evident reason. Now, other examples of not being honest, I think, again, it's more applicable on the external, and not many people think of it as an internal. So on the external, yes, just like we talked about. On the internal, now this is where if you tell yourself, I'm going to do this for this many days straight, and you don't do it, you just lie to yourself. And despite whether it was future you or past you or current you, it's still you. And they actually, side tangent here, they did a study where when people actually think about themselves in the future, they did a brain scan, and they saw that it is more similar to when you're thinking about someone completely different than when it is when you're thinking about your current self. So we all think of our future selves as some entirely different person, and it's that what prevents so many, and it makes it so hard to sacrifice now to reap the benefits later. That's what that itself is why you don't see the value in it, and we're not smart enough to be able to do that. So one of the biggest things in life is being able to allow yourself the privilege to set up the foundation so that future you can be successful despite the trials and tribulations you're going through in this current state, in this current present moment. They actually did a study that it kind of gauges intelligence. The more intelligent a creature is, the longer they can wait for a reward, or we can call it a dopamine hit, after an action is done. So for example, if you take different types of animals and make them do a certain action, some animals you'll need to give them instant gratification or instant reward. Boom, 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 boom. Like, you want them to touch a lever, pull the lever, get the food. Pull the lever, get the food. Now if you get them to pull the lever, wait 3 seconds, and then give them food, They can't correlate the getting the food with the actual pulling of the lever. So the more intellectual and intelligent the animal is, or even humans in this case, the longer they can wait to gain the reward and attribute that reward to the initial action. So I say that to say, intelligence isn't always about what you know and what you think of knowledge is not always, it's not fully encompassing. Knowledge is like being able to endure and withstand, that's knowledge in of itself. Going back to the original point, when you tell yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it, you're lying to yourself, and you're allowing yourself to believe a lie, which will in the future make you not believe in your own words and your own beliefs. So let's say for a week, so like every day you tell yourself, I'm gonna go work out, and I'm guilty of this. I'm gonna go work out, and you don't work out. Oh, you just lost a little bit of relationship with yourself and belief in yourself. Every day, I'm gonna go work out. Oh, I don't work out. I'm gonna go work out. I don't work out. It gets to the point where you tell yourself you're gonna work out, and you don't even believe it. So now when you tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna make $1 million, yeah, right. Like, good luck with that. Like, you're not gonna make anything because you yourself don't believe what you're saying. So it's very important to build a relationship with yourself where you tell yourself you're gonna work out, even if it's a 2-minute workout. You just do the action, because doing the action is what's important. Doing it perfectly does not matter. And we touched on this previously. But it's about doing the action and doing what you say you were going to do. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's just about doing it. It'll get, like, for example, in my experience, when I first began thinking about this, it was probably earlier this year, where I actually started implementing it. And on days where I know I couldn't do something, I would tell myself, basically I'm allowing myself not to do this thing because of XYZ. And for example, during Ramadan, where I'm fasting all day long, I was already out of the habit of working out, which made it even harder to get back into it. And like, my schedule was messed up, my sleep was messed up. I was like not having any balance between work and working out. So I allowed myself that month and a week past that month. So that month, because I didn't want to overload myself, and I knew if I got into it, it was gonna drain my energy versus give me energy, and it'll just make all aspects, like my work will be worse, my health would deteriorate because I wasn't eating as much as I'm used to, and it would kind of do the opposite of what working out should be doing for you. So I waited till after, and then now it's almost a week after. My plan is to start on Monday, so I guess we'll find out on Monday if I stick to it. But the big thing here is I wanted to fix my schedule back up, and my sleep schedule, the eating, work, like kind of figuring out the hours. That's kind of the reason why we were figuring out with scheduling. What was it, yesterday, 2 days ago, something like that. But again, kind of disorganized thoughts right now. It'll get better, I promise. But going back to where we started with this, if you can get yourself to believe in you, and when you tell yourself you're going to do something, you do it, it comes to the point where you yourself trust your word so much that it's unimaginable that it doesn't happen. So let's say, okay, every day you tell yourself you're going to do this, and you do it. Every day you tell yourself you're going to do that, and you do it. Now, every morning you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to make X amount. I'm going to get to this position in life. I'm going to meet this girl. I'm going to get this job. I'm going to, whatever it is that your goals are. And by the way, if you're not writing your goals or constantly thinking about it, at least you need to do that, because it'll constantly put you in the position to make decisions towards that goal, where opportunity begins to arise when you put awareness towards what you're looking to do. So if you're on a path and imagine you're on a path and you're walking down the path and your eyes are on the destination, and you see a bridge that kind of goes sideways but is a shortcut to that path. If you see your destination and you know where that's going to take you, you immediately go to the bridge and go all the way there, take the shortcut. Not saying that there's shortcuts in life, but bear with me. Versus if you know your goal and then now you're just tunnel vision on your next step, which is good, don't get me wrong, but it's important to have a balance and to have both. Tunnel vision on the next step, you're going to see this bridge and be like, oh no, that's out of the way. Even though that bridge might be a faster way to your goal or a more, I don't know if successful is the right word, but a more successful route to your destination. So it's always important to look ahead and be open to change, and be adaptable. Last point, and then we'll wrap this up. With integrity and with honesty, it's important to know your limits, and it's important to take the appropriate rest to recuperate and to come back stronger and better. Don't let anybody tell you that resting is a waste of time, because resting will give you the energy and give you the power you need to be more effective and make better use of your time when you're not resting and when you're moving forward. With that, I think that's everything I wanted to cover for integrity. I know I didn't cover too much on the external because I think that's more obvious, and I don't really need to I don't need to expand on that too much because it's obvious, but it is hard. But be honest, deal with people like you want to be dealt with. Always try to, you want to be honest, but you also want to be genuine. And those aren't the same thing. Honesty means you're telling the truth. Being genuine means being true to yourself and being fair to the person that you're dealing with. That's a big thing when you're communicating with people, because you can be honest and be ingenuine. The more genuine and more authentic you are, the more people are gonna open up to you, because they can see they can feel like you are who you say you are. It's not kind of like a veil of a hidden identity that makes them kind of antsy around you. So to say, most of this video was about the internal and about believing in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, you can do great things. So go out there and go do some great things. I'm talking to myself, but I'm also talking to whoever's watching this. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, leave a comment. Whether it's a hate comment or a comment telling me what I did bad in this video or do better, I'm all for it. So just drop it. Other than that, I know these videos might seem more like tangents than actual organized thoughts, but we're getting there. So bear with me. But anyways, see you guys tomorrow for the N in VINCI CORE, nurture.